All right, Gitmo, welcome back to Open Line. So today we have a little surprise. We're going to do a break from our traditional order, and MWR is not going to be here today, but we do have VFW and American Legion here to represent and help out the installation. So without further ado, would you guys feel free to introduce yourselves and talk about the services?
Sure. Hal Roche. 2 years ago, I was the national commander for the VFW and got invited to come down here to this tropical paradise and with an outfit with veterans overseas deployed. Currently, we're set up at the Fleet Family Service Support Center there with some service officers to help our military, contractors, veterans, file their claims, get some information on what they need to do. And then likewise, here with the American Legion, I'll let her introduce herself. She is the current commander of the state of Colorado.
Hi, I'm Annette Johnson. I'm the department commander for the American Legion Colorado, and we're here this week not only helping out our fellow servicemen, but we're also passing the word about a bunch of our children and youth programs that we have that can help out in your community.
And then my name is Jeremy Dotson. I've been involved with Veteran Overseas Deployment for about a year now. I actually attended some of the programs that the American Legion, VFW, do put on, and they do change lives. Because of that, it actually helped me stay in college. I was considering dropping out, but thanks to some key members of the American Legion, Veterans Overseas Deployment, I decided to stay in, pursue a degree, and love giving back and making sure that our active duty and veterans are more than taken care of.
So one of the big reasons that, like Annette said, we, the VFW, American Legion, we offer a lot of programs for our youth and teachers. That's one of the things that we're down here doing while we're here. We're here till Friday. We leave Friday, hopefully, good Lord willing, and the rotator goes. But along those, we do scholarship programs for both junior high and high school. High school is a verbal essay competition, 3 to 5 minutes. We call it the Voice of Democracy. We give it a patriotic theme. They do a 3 to 5 minute speech, and hey, if all works out, and they win the national competition, that's a $35,000 scholarship.
Wow.
For a 3 to 5 minute speech. Not bad.
Not bad, yeah.
We get, for the junior high, it's a written essay, 350 to 500 words. And the national winner there gets a $5,000 bond. We also, we have a program now where we recognize teachers at all three levels, kindergarten, middle school, and the high school. We also have a lot of programs that we use that we recognize our military and, our firemen, EMT, policemen, lifesavers. We do scholarship programs for E5s and below on active duty. That's actually run through Sport Clips Hair Cuttery. They run that. The local franchisees raise money for us to put that on. They get up to a $5,000 scholarship, and they can actually reapply multiple times, but it's $5,000 per semester that's done. We work with Burger King franchisees in doing an unmet need. So if somebody's in some financial situations not due to their own, not go out and charge up 69 credit cards, but cars break down, PCSs sometimes we get in a little trouble. We have a way to grant them money, not loan, but grant, especially somebody who's getting ready to PCS or get out and separate. It's not a payback situation for them. And even afterwards, we do stuff with opportunities to that. The one reason that we haven't been really huge in Gitmo, for instance, is that our process always started at the local post level. And kind of hard here, we don't have a post. So we've actually now, this year, come up with another category that we're working directly with our headquarters in Kansas City for an unaffiliated. So we'll allow all the judging to be done locally, and then the student or the teacher or the fireman or if somebody needs help will go directly to our headquarters now and be able to participate in our programs.
Okay.
And in the American Legion, we have a lot of the same programs. They're very, very similar. We happen to have a Boy State and Girl State program that takes place in June of every year, and Colorado is willing to sponsor any of these children that would like to go. Anywhere for Boy State, they have to be a junior. Girl State have to be a junior. Our oratorical program, it's a 5-minute constitutional speech where the kids get 4 topics they get to pick from, and then they are given one topic in particular to speak on, and they get to relate it to past, present, and future. And those scholarships go up to $25,000. We also start off on the local level with our posts. We go to district and department level, and then the kids, 2 kids from each state will get chosen by their peers to represent their state in Washington, D.C. They will actually ratify or write actual bills and take them to their state representatives in Washington, D.C. and present the bills or the ratifications to Congress, where they will either be passed or set aside. And then we also have a new program we're developing this year with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. They just celebrated their 100th anniversary, and this is going to be for children ages 3rd grade to 8th grade to help them develop their leadership skills and public speaking skills, and why it's important for them to be an American, and why is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier important. So these are some programs we'd like to bring here in Colorado, and we have some friends in Wyoming and Florida who would help to sponsor these kids if they wanted to attend any of these programs. We do have our oratorical program that is all virtual, so it can take place right here in GTMO.
Man, those are really exciting opportunities, and just you speaking of the program, that sounds so inspirational, so motivating to get a kid kind of bought into the processes of our government and understand how we are as patriots and know how to ratify bills and that whole process and in the White House and how the floors work with the processes to get these bills passed. That's a good educational piece that many Americans are not aware of.
You know, one of the things on the Boy State and Girl State program, they actually create a 51st state. So they will select people from the fire chief all the way up to the president of their class. They go through the whole electoral process, the judicial process, the executive branches. They go through the whole thing so that they're able to learn what is coming up for them as an adult. So when they go to sit down and either run for office or just to participate in an election, they know exactly what it is they're going to be doing.
Wow, that's super exciting. Yeah, exciting. I mean, and the insight that they're going to get from that is going to pay itself off in dividends. Even if they don't necessarily win, they're going to have the experience, and they're going to be able to transcend that into their adulthood, into their aspirations after high school, maybe into a college. But that experience is going to be able to get them in the door to pursue other things that they could be interested in.
So there's one other thing that's very important. This is of no cost to the parents, no cost at all. So if the kids are interested in attending or participating in any way, all they have to do is reach out to us and let us know, and we'll make sure everything is taken care of.
So what's the criteria? I know that VFW, being a member of a certain post, or being attached to a certain region with American Legion, a chapter or whatnot, is there any type of prerequisites that anybody has to do to participate in these opportunities that you guys offer?
Have passion, dedication, and motivation.
Okay.
That's it. And then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's open to anybody who's in the age group, in school. And oh, by the way, this covers homeschool.
Yes.
So our homeschool students also get the same. It's not, you don't have to be affiliated with military. You don't have to be, mom and dad don't have to be in the organization itself. It's open to anybody.
Okay. So
for instance, our VOD, the Voice of Democracy, is anybody 9 through 12.
Okay.
The Patriot Pen competition is 6th, 7th, and 8th. So it's open to anybody that does that. Our particular Voice of Democracy in the VFW, in fact, every state winner, we've referred to them as departments because we also have Pacific in Europe.
Yeah.
They're all coming in. Their state winners, department winners, are flying into D.C. on Saturday. The 3 days worth of, chaperone tours of the D.C. area. And then on Tuesday, we'll have our parade of winners where we'll announce the scholarship. And everybody there gets a scholarship from about $1,200 up through the $35,000
Okay.
scholarship. And then in June, the departments will send them to Freedom's Forge, which is the same, very similar setup where they go in. It's a week-long camp, and they go in and learn how to write bills and do the legislation. And they have all the characters. We have all the past presidents, so they'll get to meet George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and even Benjamin Franklin. And these people are in character and stay in character the entire time.
Yeah.
For the kids, it's really, and they actually have a Medal of Honor row there too to recognize all of our Medal of Honor recipients.
Okay.
So, and this is open to anybody. And it's, as Annette said, this is all free of charge.
Wow.
Can't argue with free opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those I wish I had known, because these have been going on. Both of our organizations, the American Legion and the VFW, are over 100 years old.
Yep.
We've been doing things for our veterans and their families in the military for over 100 years. Not just in the schools and all that, but what we do for legislative, the PACT Act, for instance. Huge, one of the biggest bills for veterans ever passed.
Yeah.
Was a combination of us putting our teams together and going. In fact, I testified 2 years ago before Congress to get that ball rolling. 9/11 GI Bill, the VA hospital system.
Yep.
The things that we do. So it's a well-rounded. Our service officers that we have here today with us, if somebody needs to file a claim, if they're within 6 months of getting out, is a good time to start that process. So that their benefits will be waiting for them upon retirement or separation. But even if you just have some good questions on what do I need to think about doing, I've got 3 or 4 or 5 years out, we can give you some good information on that. Even if you have a claim, if you're a contractor or a GS worker out there and you have more questions about what you already have, stop by, see us. We're there through Thursday. Love to see you, love to help you out.
Now, what is the if a member or a contractor or civilian is interested in becoming a member of either VFW or American Legion, what's the process with that? Can they go online to register? Do they need to see somebody in person, a rep, or do they need to physically go to a post? How does that work?
Well, you can see us here while we're here through Thursday.
Okay.
But yes, you can go to www.legion.org, and you can sign up to become a member through there. And what's interesting is you can actually sign up for any state that you want to belong to. So if your home state is California, you can actually request somebody from California to get in touch to set up your paperwork for you to transfer out there. Or because obviously there's not a post here.
Right.
So, but yes, you can reach out to us that way. And
Yep. Same way with the VFW is VFW.org. So Legion.org, VFW.org. The criteria for membership's a little bit different. With the American Legion, I'm a member of both, life member of both. American Legion, if you have served from World War II, Pearl Harbor, till today, you're eligible to join. With the VFW, it's we're a combat, more combat related. So pretty much everybody here with a GWAT-E would qualify for that. Stationed in Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan, any of those conflicts, or if you had imminent danger pay, hostile fire pay, would qualify you for that. And again, it's Legion.org, VFW.org. Stop by and see us. We have some trinkets to pass out, some sunglasses and bottle openers and pens, and we have applications there if anybody's interested.
Okay. And what are the benefits for the members, like joining to become actual members of the posts?
Well, at the post level, the number one thing is you're now immersed within your local community.
Okay.
Whether it's spearheading a community cleanup day, we do a lot of things with the local little leagues, that type of stuff. Of course, we're close to the bases. We have a adopted unit program where we actually go out and adopt a unit. And a lot of times, the local commander of the post will be designated the honorary, skipper, or commander. for the week or the month, and so we do a lot of interaction there with going aways, coming homes, deployment type stuff. From a bigger aspect, it's being part of that community that's helping future veterans.
Yep.
Right. Those that were 100 years ago started the ball rolling that eventually helped us get to where we are today. So now it's our job, both the Legion and the VFW and the AMVETS and DAV, is to make sure that we keep that going for the next generation.
That's right.
And that they're taken care of, and not just them, but their families, the survivors.
Yep.
Our active duty. It's a tall order, but one both the organizations are signed up to complete.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to have that embrace of our past and the legacy left to us and all the hardships endured to get us to this stage, and keeping that same level of momentum moving forward to make sure that that's honored, because we have to hold the bucket and make sure that we're passing that along to our future generation and giving them the opportunities that we might not have today, but the fight is for the opportunities of tomorrow. So you guys are here doing that,
Yeah.
and that is great. I'd like to get some insight on you guys before you guys take off. I know you talked a lot about your programs, I know you talked a lot about your organizations, but can you guys speak about yourselves for a little bit? Give me a little bit of history. How'd you become part of the American Legion? Did you serve? Do you have some of your family that served?
Yes, I served. My father was a 32-year Marine, and I was in the Air Force. And unfortunately, I had medical retirement.
Okay.
So with that, I went to school. I've become a therapist. I'm an ordained minister. And, that's part of my benefits through the VOC rehab program, was being active duty and then being retired out and receiving some disability benefits. I could go back to school and get some cross-training to do something. I've been volunteering for over 35 years. Actually, my whole life I've been volunteering for veterans. I should just say that.
I mean, your dad was a 32-year Marine. You were volunteering your whole life.
Yes. So with that, this is my way of giving back. I do have limitations in my life, but what's really great is that I'm around so many other veterans that I don't ever feel that I have a disability when I'm around my community.
Yeah.
And going out into the community, people will see. In fact, I had conversations where we might have a young lady wanting to go to the Girl State and Oratorical program this year from here who has a disability with a service dog. And yes, of course, we're going to take anybody that wants to come out, and we will make the accommodations for them. So one of the biggest things I think for me is, I'm able to give back.
Absolutely.
And I just love being able to give back and not expecting anything in return. It's just something that I do. I wake up every morning with a passion for it, and I can't wait to meet new people every day and to get to hear their stories and talk to them about how they've gotten to where they are today. And, I really enjoyed my career. I wish I could have stayed in longer. So, but it is what it is.
Well,
So,
thank you for your passion, and
you.
thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And for myself, I'm Air Force brat myself. My dad, actually my mom too, until I was coming along, and then she was forced out. She doesn't hold that against me, though, so we're good. And then I decided that I wanted to follow in their shoes. I joined the Air Force, became a F-16 avionics technician for 14 years, and then did a little stint working the Inspector General program for 3 years, and ended up on the F-35, helping to write the requirements for that. The Air Force myself had a little didn't quite see eye to eye on my next assignment, so I retired a little sooner than I wanted to. It was 20. I'd have stayed 50 if they'd have let me.
Right.
I was sold from day one. In fact, I told my recruiter when I first enlisted, can I just go ahead and do the 20 now? And you got me. But so I did that for 20 years, had some good assignments. No bad assignments. Grew up in Florida, Utah, did 4 years in Spain, in Torrejon. Did South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, my East Coast tour, as I call it there, and retired. Came back from Desert Storm in 91. The day after I got back, I received a phone call. Wanted to have some people donate to local charities, send kids to the circus that was coming to town, needy kids. I told them I'd do it. I said I'd drop off the money, and they told me they were at the VFW, and I said, what is that, and where are you at, and I'll do it. And I walked in, met a guy, Mel Emore, who was the quartermaster. It was interesting. He showed me the tour of the local post and never said a word about the post itself. But he told me the mission of the organization, which was helping the veterans and their families and the military and the programs that they do, and I was sold. Got involved from day one. Been involved now for 32 years in the organization. As I said, 2020, 21, I was the national commander. So I had 1.5 million members in auxiliary that I got to say I get to represent them.
Yep.
Even though it was COVID year, we made the best of it. Now I'm active on the President Local Honor Flight.
Okay.
Back home. I've gotten involved with the VOD here in this great mission that they have, and I'll continue on. It's too important, and besides that, I get to meet some really great people.
Oh yeah.
You know, as I
Yep.
travel around, you know, if you had asked me last year, hey, you ever think you'd be at GTMO? I'd say, oh hell no. But man, I'm glad I did.
You know what? I appreciate your service as well, and I can tell your enthusiasm for the program and the organization. I actually worked with you guys hand in hand for the honor flight. I remember being in San Diego, and the guys would come back from Hawaii, and I was a second class, and I would just grab the bags for them. And those old vets, man, those guys are some tough dudes because they were like, do not touch my bag. I'm going to carry my own bag. And I remember seeing my rating badge, and he was like, you know, you're a bosun mate. I said, yes, sir, I'm a bosun mate. He said, don't call me sir. I work for a living.
That's right.
And then he said, I'm going to give you something. So he reached in his bag. He's rifling through it. And I was like, you know, I don't need anything. You know, I'm here to honor you and cherish what your service was to our country, right? And he pulled out this bosun's pipe, and I still use it today.
Wow.
Like every time I pipe a ceremony, because it makes me think of the time when it was passed down to me. I felt responsible to continue his legacy through using the pipe that he gave me, and I'm just like, man, this pipe was used in a world war, you know, like every time every time I use it, it pipes perfect, as if it's meant to be used in that capacity. So
That's an awesome story. I mean,
awesome.
but that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
It is. That's what it's all about. You know, there's a million stories. And one of the things, you know, with the honor flight now too is, you know, we're Korea, Vietnam, as well as World War II.
Yep.
And a lot of these Vietnam vets didn't come back to a good welcome.
They didn't. Yeah.
You know, and we're able to take them to D.C. and take them to their wall. And, of course, all the memories come back. But this time when they come home, it's to a great big celebration. And
That's
it
great.
really changes their lives
Yeah.
in what we do. So it's great. But, you know, I don't want to leave Jeremy out of this. He really does this. He kind of alluded at the beginning. He has an amazing story of how all this ties in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What do you got, Jeremy?
So I was actually a attendee of Kentucky Boys State in 2014. It was ran by Dr. Pete, as well as the Kentucky American Legion. It taught me about leadership, communication, state and local governments. Like Annette was saying, that's what Kentucky Boys and like Girls and Boys State is, teaching you more about the government side of things, as well as networking with everyone, learning more about bills and how this government works. And that does lead to Boys and Girls Nation. And I was able to take all those experiences back with me to high school and then to college. And like I was saying earlier, I was debating on whether I was going to drop out of college or not. I went back to Boys State as a junior counselor, and thanks to John Beach, Dr. Pete Trzop, I actually decided to stay in college. And I came back again as a counselor again another year, and it was just, in all honesty, the slogan was, it's a week that shapes a lifetime. And it's true. It really changes lives. And after I went through Boys State as a volunteer, I got more involved with volunteering for the American Legion. And now I'm here for the second time at GTMO with Veteran Overseas Deployment. And we're changing lives. Like, you all have defended us. You all have served our country. It's the least we can do for you all to make sure you get your claims, your benefits after you all separate.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate, and again, I can see the dedication and obviously the commitment that you are demonstrating through the attributes of what you've given to the program and helping out the vets, and we do really appreciate it. You guys are leaving a good opportunity for people to engage with you and to hopefully be motivated to join the process. I'm a VFW member too, to actually join and be a part of something great. And when you get back to your home states, your hometowns, you can go to your local posts and you can help out the community, because when we get out of uniform, we still want to pay it forward. We have this responsibility by ourselves to continue to serve outside of the capacity of the organization. So we find that through VFWs, through American Legions, through community programs that can help inspire and build better community blocks within the places that we reside. So thank you for giving the community an opportunity. Thank you for being here to promote your program and talk about the benefits. And you will be seeing a lot of sailors, contractors, retirees come see you guys. So I appreciate you guys coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
a quick shout out to the Navy Lodge, man. They're rocking it up there.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
they're the best.